There is really no reason for the stream to be happening right now, other than me just feeling spontaneous, and people like loot boxes, even though I already own everything. This is just a fond farewell to one of my favorite games of all time, if not definitely my favorite competitive game of all time. So, here's to looking at you, kid. All right. The journey begins with my unopened event loot boxes. Get used to that. And that was that. We had good times, you and me. Overwatch. I remember when you were first announced, I knew that this was going to be my game of choice. I knew that this was going to be a big fucking deal. I knew I was going to put so much time into you. You were the reason why I got a PC to game on. I mean, it was you in League of Legends, but you were the reason why I upgraded from my shitty laptop. You sparked and maintained a couple of close friendships that I still treasure to this day. And I will always remember those days. The good old days. An era coming to an end. It's so weird knowing that the game is just coming to an end like this. Soon you're gonna be a free-to-play thing in the hands of Blizzard Entertainment. At this point, I'm expecting them to fuck something up. Before that happens, might as well get filthy stinking rich. Back in the day, I used to play this basically every day with a couple of friends of mine. It was the good old days, man. Just me and the boys. Like, right on the cusp. Like, we graduated, like, we were, like, just graduated high school. Getting into college, and just had some time to just hang out and just fucking play games, you know? We just could chill, not have to worry about anything. Like, I hear a lot of people talk about WoW. Like, Overwatch was definitely my WoW. It was my time where I could just fucking hang out with people. And I got good. Got real good. Not top 500 good, but diamond good. I remember when the first Overwatch event happened. The very, very, very first one. I think it was the Halloween event. And just getting blown away by how amazing the PvE was and how just immediately everyone's just got so interested in the idea of a completely PvE game, which is what they want to do with the sequel now. And I'm so down for it. But man, like, back in the day, the hardest difficulty on Junkertown, like, only, like, I want to say, like, 2% or, like, 5%, like, some crazy low number of people could actually beat it. And I remember grinding that shit so hard, requeuing with just me and just a couple of my friends. And when we finally managed to get, like, because it was just me, it was me and we were a group of 3 and it required 4 people, and we finally got that person that was actually, like, quasi good at the game, and we would just freaking go hard. And when we finally got it, man, we got that spray and it meant something. And then later on they stopped caring and then everyone got it. But back in the day, man, having that achievement, that was the best. And then right after that, we had the Archives event. And that very first one, like, even less people. I think that was less than 1% of people managed to get through the end of that on the hardest difficulty. And I think I was the only, I know I was the only one in my friend group to get that done, just because, like, most people thought it was fucking impossible, but I did it. I was so proud. And then next year came around and they added a couple of things onto Junkertown, made it easier, and everyone started to get the spray. But then the next Archives event was even better. Featured my favorite character, now Cole Cassidy, then McCree, just kicking ass and taking names. That was a good time, man. Also, playing through that on the hardest difficulty was just an experience. Me and the boys grinded that through all the way too. And that was the time where I spent $40 to get my Jesse McCree skin that now I could purchase with the wave of a hand because of how much currency I have. When I first started this game, I never really played FPSs really competitively. I played a lot of Halo Reach on consoles, but like this was the first time I really got into the competitive side of an FPS. And I remember first queuing in and getting placed in gold. And within the next season, I got placed in plat. And for like the next 5 years, I was stuck in plat. Admittedly, I never really committed myself to the grind, but like, I still tried. I watched Overwatch League, I watched top 500 streamers, I practiced. Me and a good friend of mine like actually like rewatched our VODs and tried to coach each other a little bit. And like a couple years ago, like I don't know how old this game is. It's over 5 years old probably. Like I remember just like 2 years ago, finally, like right before roll queue, I think, getting that diamond placement. Took me like 5-7 years of playing and like actually giving a damn, but I did it. I made it into the upper echelons of the player base. And man, I was so fucking proud. I remember when it happened, I fucking jumped out of my seat and just shouted at the top of my lungs. And I know it may not seem like a big deal for a lot of people, but it was a big deal for me. I'd been working at this for so long and it finally happened. And I kept going. I played with the boys a little bit, but as time went on, of course, everyone just started to get more busy. And so did I. I started having a shift in priorities. Tried to make a game in the middle of all that, and so that was a thing. But somehow along the way, we just kind of stopped playing. And I think it's in large part because Blizzard stopped really supporting this game, started focusing on Overwatch 2, which is coming out soon, so here's hoping that that's worth it. But when they stopped updating this game, it sucked, just because this was like my favorite game for a long time. And after that happened, we all moved on. We all did other things. The events kept getting worse and worse and more repetitive and less inspired. A couple characters came out here and there where we popped on to see what the new hubbub was all about and played for a little bit and then left when it got stale again. But I always remember that beginning. Like, that first year of Overwatch, man. Fucking A. That first year of Overwatch. It was the shit. It was fucking amazing. And now, here I am, 34 loot boxes away from saying goodbye. You know, some of my fondest memories were playing duo queue tank with a friend of mine. I remember just doing crazy shit. You know, the Zarya Rhine or like the Sig Rhine later on, and like baiting shatters out with like, you know, putting down one shield and placing the other. Having to just live through the stun locks of, because he was a Rhine main, and just being so fucking tilted. I think like that's probably like the big thing that made him quit the game, was just all the CC. Now they're moving away from the MOBA FPS hybrid mostly to FPS format, which, man, the thing that caught me was the MOBA aspect. Like I'd played FPSs before. Like I said, I played Halo, I played plenty of Call of Duty before that, but I'd never seen anything like this. Like, you had your Team Fortress and then later on your Valorant, but like this brought it to a level that you couldn't deny was just phenomenal. Brought it to somewhere special. Characters that meant something to so many people, myself included. And man, those cinematics, fucking hell, those cinematics. Bastion and Tracer, like the assassination thing, and God, the Reinhardt one. Oh, the Reinhardt one still slams, still hits. Every time I watch it, I feel the emotions.
Without you, Lieutenant, you took an oath to be a Crusader. Now, keep it. I won't leave you! The team needs you. Be their shield. Reinhardt, live with honor. Die with glory, old friend.
They were all really good. Reinhardt one was definitely my favorite, though. Which is odd because you think it'd be the McCree one, but the McCree one was just dumb fun. Like, the Reinhardt one was easily just, in terms of the emotional journey, just the best. Bastion was also pretty good, though. I also really like Eve. Like, they're all great, but Reinhardt's my favorite. I hope that the new PvE stuff just has a lot of those cutscenes just built in, a lot of those moments. Because these characters are good, man. They're too good to be wasted. Too good to be destroyed. I suppose I'll share one unfun memory. And that's all the bullshit that you needed to deal with in fucking non-roll queue. God, that was terrible. But we were all in it together, man. We all experienced the insta-lock DPS. Still wouldn't trade it for the world. 5. These last few loot boxes, I suppose, give out a message of hope. Hopefully, this new game delivers into something special. 3. Hopefully, it can deliver on the promise that the first one made. 2. And hopefully, it can bring just as much, if not better memories than this one did, too. But this will always be a reminder of my moment in life that I'll never get back. 1. And so, there will never be another Overwatch. No matter what happens. Last one. How do we end? Blues and whites. Of course. Well, here's to the future. Cheers, Overwatch. Thank you again. I'll miss you. Sayonara.